Three, two, one. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest podcast. Well, I've done a few before, but this is called No One's Listening. But I am your host, No One, and with me is the new co-host, the one and only account hopping, cheating Stretch.
Hey.
Okay, so I'm gonna be doing all the yapping. He's gonna be doing the back talking. There's really no premise to the episode yet. I don't think. Just pretty much do whatever the fuck we want, say whatever the fuck we want. And yeah, except no, easy on the fem shit. Easy on the fem shit. We don't want a weird fan base now, or do we? A fan base is a fan base. Am I right?
Any niche we can fit into.
Hey, I'm fans are the more listeners, the better. Anyways, well, I guess the ultimate premise of this game is just to give hot takes, opinions, stats, updates, yada yada of the Siege console community and or PC, or just wherever the fuck we feel like taking it. That sound cool? That sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyways, let's start with. We'll just go ahead and start with it. I don't know how much Stretch knows about it, but we'll start with the whole council idea that has come up for the 15,000 bazillionth time. So, here's just a little insight on what is going on. Okay, so for instance, they want to essentially divisionize the leagues into a D1 league, D2 leagues, and so forth and so forth. So what this brings on is essentially I'm just going to wrap it up all in one big sum, and the listeners can get mad, happy. You can put your opinion in, jump in when you feel like it, whatever you want to do. So long story short is they want three D1 leagues, and as of right now it's Black Hole, Scissors, or I guess you can say SXL since Scissors not supposed to be a part of it no more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that fucking worked, didn't it? And then WoW Boys Console League, which of course they gotta be up there. And anyways, Champions kind of got subsided out of it. They're not really a part of it. They didn't like that they got voted out, so they're just gonna do their own thing. But we'll still recognize them as a D1 league. I just don't. I personally don't want to pay for a $50 entry. That's fucking ridiculous if you ask me.
Yeah.
But so those are your D1 leagues. So essentially, the goal is to have 10 D1 teams in all of those leagues, and then nobody knows because I'm really the only flexible league owner. Brian's met him multiple times. He's not changing his shit. Shady wants to, but Scissor's not gonna let him taint his idea of greatness. So, really it's going to go nowhere. But, the goal is D1 compete with D1 and quit going into leagues like Galaxy and Asgard 5.2. And anyways, just to give the D2 and D3 teams a chance to actually make playoffs and win where you're not seeing the same D1 teams winning every league, free or not. I mean, it's a decent idea, but really, are the egos going to allow it to work? No. But it, I guess I could label the D2 leagues because we got Asgard, which came back. They're reviving that one. Stampy fully is reviving that one. Galaxy League, Blizzard, Boozers League, whatever you want to call that. And I'm not sure what the fuck Forever League is doing. I don't know if they're still a league, if they're done after this last season. I don't know, but I'm assuming they would be the next one. Just an assumption. But ultimately, as the D1 leagues don't go in there, the D2 and 3s go in there. And then it just creates a unified rank up system where, like, the bottom four D1 teams have to fight, eventually have to fight the top four D2 teams. And then they can swap ranks and whatever. I was like, it sounds good. Will it ever work? I don't think so because I think console's a little far dead. But, I told them all I would try it for one more time, one last ride, see where we go. What do you think on this?
I mean, it kind of sucks because, like, in theory, you would think this would work well, kind of making it more theoretically similar to D2. Jesus, T2, T3, like PC, how that's kind of ran. But yeah, I just don't really see it working similar to that because of like the egos, like you were saying. Because you would think that leagues like Champions would be like D1, but kind of getting shifted out of it, and then Garfield not wanting to coordinate with the other leagues is definitely not a good thing. And then I
Yeah.
don't know, because some of the leagues, like T2 or D2 for example, aren't really gonna hold much value as compared to D1, unless it's like an Asgard League, which offers a price pool, though it may be limited. Whereas compared to Galaxy League, which isn't doing a price pool at all. So it's like if there is a good D2 teams, they're not going to be entering in these
Galaxy is going
smaller.
paid next season.
They are.
Yes.
Yeah. That's just kind of what I was thinking. I don't see some of the D2 teams incentivizing these D2 leagues. So it's like they're going to be asking, why can we get into these wild card LLC leagues or black hole leagues? And that's going to be a whole other issue that people haven't even thought of.
Oh, trust me, it's been thought of. Like you said, the whole idea is to tier it like PC, but
Hmm.
the biggest issue is too many people aren't going to stick to the script. It's going to suck at first, as we all know. And it's like, to me, like, I think Champions, I stuttered like a motherfucker there. I think Champions didn't make it because Vizsla gave it to Garfield. Personally
Yeah.
speaking. I mean, for one, the prize pool is supposed to be going to a middleman. No disrespect to the dude, but I was like, I don't know the dude. You're talking about $500 to $600 in entries to someone. I mean, hopefully it's
Yeah, I don't
trusted.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I
It
hope.
needs to be someone within the scene that we're accustomed to.
Well, hopefully that's what it would be. I don't know much has been said on it since then. And then I was like, $50 is fucking insane, especially when these teams don't want to compete without an org, like don't want to pay those, so they go to an org. Okay, so there's only really three reputable orgs coming up on four. Pitt's coming up. Um,
Yeah.
so I think they just got promoted to D1. We'll get back to that later. But so like you only got three leagues. Okay, so say champions is 12 teams, and I mean you're looking at $150 per league or per org. My bad. And it's like that's fucking ridiculous. That's just champions. That's not counting the $20 in BH, the 25 in WCL, the 35 in SXL or 40 now I think. And I was like
Yeah.
that's ridiculous. And I did the math to people. I was like it's fucking insane that I think last season between champions and Scissor, I think Black Hole itself paid over $200 just in two leagues. Mind you, we cover a lot of our own teams in our own league. That's just something I've always done. Is like these black hole teams, but I mean that shit's about it. When we go to D1, I said I'd give it a shot, so motherfuckers ain't gonna get invited, all of them. But I was like just two leagues is breaking orcs $200, which
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine, but it's like D2 not wanting to compete in the free leagues or the lower leagues. I was like, I think $100 prize pools or something is fine. 150, 200. Because I was like, I don't want to pay for a team like Velocity, Nemesis, R18. I don't want to pay 35, 45, $50 for you to not do nothing. For you to go
Yeah.
0 and 6.
Especially when you're going against more competent teams that are accustomed to D2 environment or D1 environments. I don't know. I think it's like a whole lot of unforeseen issues are going to come up with the whole divisional standing things. I'm not a fan of it personally, but I get what they're going for. I just don't think it'll work out as planned.
I most definitely ain't. If you were in the chat, you would see. Sorry to any of y'all
Yeah.
who are in there that's going to be listening, but nobody is on the same page. It's like
Yep.
every day we get to the same page, and the next day the page starts over. It's ridiculous.
Hmm.
You got this dude wanting to do a majors. You got this dude just adding this. You got this dude wanting to do a majors, but this way. You got, well, this guy, I don't think they should be in D1 at all. Well, this guy, well, D2's got to be in D1 at some point. Everybody's just on a different page, and it's like, I try to play devil's advocate sometimes. I'm not going to say I'm the best. I do be rage baiting. But,
Yeah, you do.
get out of here.
No.
Yes, it has nothing to do with
What?
you.
I know. I just wanted to tell Stretch that I love him and I'm doing my best to defend him.
What are you talking? Get out of here. We're live on the air
Oh, how am I supposed to know that?
because you just joined.
Oh, well, hello, everybody.
Oh yeah, well
Love you
now,
all. Goodbye.
yeah, you be on the next episode.
Okay, sounds good. Love
Yeah,
y'all. Bye bye.
yeah, this motherfucker. See, we need private chats. Look at him, he's still here. Anyways, I was like, wow, that's not you. But anyways, everybody's on a different page. Sorry for the interruption. That was Chip. He'll be in an episode, I'm sure. But yeah, everybody's just on the same page, and the next day we're on a different page. And then this person wants to be the head. This person wants to be the head. That's why I was like, I feel like I'm the only flexible one here. I even volunteered to step down to D2 just so champions could be a part of it. But when they did the vote in the council, which you can say is not a community vote, being that they chose who wanted to be in there, I guess I could see the argument for that. But it's like I could see it, but I was like, I was the only league that didn't get a single vote. You are in it actually, I think, because you did vote. I think you
I am.
voted. Yeah, I think you voted. Which one did you vote?
I don't recall.
I don't mean either,
I
but
try not to pay attention to that league because it didn't really concern me as much
yeah,
if I'm not in the system.
but as I said, like out of 23 votes, I didn't get a single vote, and I was like, man, it's kind of fucked up that I got to be the bigger one, but whatever, I got to do. But then they got mad, and I was like, well, I'm not taking $1,000 prize pool into D2, and I'm not donating the prize pool to some other fucking league, like.
Yeah.
Because I think Cards or somebody said that, well, just give it up to Pat. Like, fuck no. Why the fuck would I give my money to somebody else's shit?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I gotta have an ego at some point, because that's ridiculous that you want to knock me down, but you still want my money. It's fucking ridiculous to me. I was like, but I'll step down to D2. Like, got no issues there. But yeah, so it's weird. Everybody's on a different page. But then we got to the point of like today, promoting the new D1 teams. Well, we got to find another one because Void is allegedly
Yeah.
retiring after their last run of the seasons. So this is where we're at in console. This is how dead this shit is. These are the D1 teams that we got to choose, or the D2 teams that we got to choose from. Velocity, Nemesis, Zave, Pit. I was like, man, I mean, I'm like,
I don't mind Pit though, or
Pit.
Zave. I don't really think if you want to like try to segue into this section, just kind of how teams are in general. I don't mind Zave being a D1 team because they put in a lot of effort into playing the game correctly. They attempt to make defensive strats that aren't your run of the mill cookie cutter rank strats, and then they go for like pocket plays on attack, which I think is really cool. So I respect that
They
personally because a
they
lot of teams do tend to do the cookie cutter, play heavy gun skill type of siege.
they do, but you got to look at how consistently they
Yeah,
fail in D1, and they're in a lot of D1. So that's why I was like, they're playing it, but you've been around for like a year now, and you have really shown little to no improvement. I mean, I think
I
they're
think they're steadily improving. They've taken down good teams recently. Like I think it was Obey on a bank game.
yeah, but I mean, you got also, which is it's a bullshit excuse, but it was a regular season or postseason.
Yeah, I know.
I hate to be that guy, but they don't. They really just don't care for regular season. But then again, it's like they still beat them. You still beat a well-renowned name who default is more skilled than most. But it's like I do like them because they are consistent. It's like I would like them in D1 off of just the fact that they're still consistent. They're not giving up. You know, they're still a team. They're still an org. I think I think they're pretty deep in the Rocket League, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
But I was like, I just wish that like I feel like Pitt came in and got like he made connections and got better players quicker. Like that series with
Yeah,
them and Obey, which is Wild Boys now, but you know, I think Four said it once, like they're just Obey. But I
yeah,
was like, that was a hell of a playoff series right there. For
yeah. It was
Pitt came out of
good
nowhere.
series.
And that's why I was like, I have no issue voting Pitt in there. And then it's like, as far as the others, personally, I'd have to go Zave because I feel like they're like, yes, they might be worse, but I feel like they're better overall. And the fact of, they do interesting shit, but at the same time, velocity, man, it's like, I guess you can play the game that got brought up earlier. You take away 2 players, well, from any team and they're worse. But I was like, I feel like that's true to an extent. It's like you take away 2 players from Wild Boys, they're still a great team. They're still gonna beat your R18s, your Nemesises, whatever you want to call them. They're still good. But if you take away 2 players from Velocity, they're shit. No disrespect to
Yeah,
Gotti.
that'll be an issue.
Yeah, no disrespect to Gotti. He's a great IGL. But you take away Yes and Vix, they're like the games that he ain't been there, you can see. And then
Yeah.
Nemesis, I think they're just a little new still. Like they've been doing really good and with D2 and shit, but I think they're still a little new to be like D1. They haven't done anything extravagant like Pitt. But you can argue Pitt is 1-3 in Black Hole right now. And no forfeits either. They just lost 3 games, 1-1. So I was like, you
Yep.
can kind of argue that. That's why I said we're just at that weird spot where there's not really a solidified next up.
Mm-hmm.
But, you got 5 Point Choka over here. They lost to R18
Yep.
with a butchered roster and a cheating allegation, which was true, but, you still
Yep.
lost to R18. But that's really the only thing they've done. Like, they look good, then they look bad. Then they look good, then they look bad. They're just a weird team. But that's where it's like, I could give Pitt, and I just like Zave off their consistency. Like, they've been around, and it's been close to a similar roster for that year.
Yeah. And they're not really a problematic team either. You're always going to get your entries paid. There's not really going to be any, like, cheating allegations, like, stuff like that. It's not really
Oh,
a team you have to worry too much about because, like you said, consistent roster. You don't have to manage roster changes with that team constantly.
no,
It's
Matt
a
Bam's
very
got to get
unproblematic
done.
team.
Yeah, that's what I said, like, just off of that. But nah, we'll get back up to date on it. As we do these episodes, we'll touch in on how the council's doing. Because that's why I said I'm getting away with the double rosters next season. I'm doing limited number of roster changes because some people, not gonna name them out loud, Garfield has like 52 roster changes a week. It feels like he's not the only one though. But he's the one, man. You'll submit it, then he'll put another one in right after. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
this is ridiculous. But he doesn't change nothing but like the name or one person. Like sometimes. But yeah, so I'm doing that. Then I'm doing a new forfeit system to where it's like your first forfeit's -1 or something, -1, -2, but it doubles every time you forfeit after that. So if it's -1, it goes to 2, then to 4, then to 8. Or I could go 2, 4, 8, 16. Depends on how hard I want to be. But that's kind of what I was gonna do. But anyway, that's enough on the council shit. We'll delve more into that later. So let's get a little tea time, okay? What is the history with you and Nas?
I don't know.
You
I just
don't.
don't really like the guy.
Okay, well, for those who might not know, or those who care to listen this long and might not know, he called him out for account hopping on his account, which XMap was. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
Yep. Why Stretch chose, or why Matt chose to use the account of someone who knowingly, if you know Nas, you know he can't stand Stretch. Why would you choose to use that account? I don't know. But
Yeah, I'm not really sure that wasn't my doing.
but he's called you out tonight too, or what is this? Sunday night. Called you out for the same thing. Like what? Why do y'all not like each other?
I just don't really like it. I don't have a particular reason. He's just annoying. Like, you know, like I mean, because it ended up being X map or whatever. That I called his team and the Exodus team out that was like known for account hopping, and he's like adamantly denying it, and is a matter that didn't concern him, and then just ended up being hypocritical, which then same shit I did. Oh well.
Well, that's where it's like you could say you've generally taken the higher road more, but I mean, in D1, who has an account hopped? That is the way I
Yeah.
feel. So it's like to me, certain times like I get a big game, but during a regular season game, it's like come on now, all y'all have account hop. Like Exodus is wildly known for it.
Yeah.
I mean, they've even
Hmm.
like we got a minutes of doing like playoffs. Like oh yeah, that whole series. It's
Yeah.
like okay. But I was just wondering, like, do you know why he don't like you? Is that why?
Not really.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. Probably because how hard I was going for his team and Exodus doing it.
Oh, well, that makes sense to why every time you do it, he's got to feel it. I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
said, I've talked to him a couple times. He seems pretty cool. I didn't like the way, like, I was having a rough night, and I don't like the way he kind of approached me about the situation. I'm like, dude, I'm driving. I'm on a date. I didn't think anything was going to happen. Most of these games go without issue. I'm kind of don't, like, I don't give a shit right now. Like, I'll handle it when the game's over. Like, why would I stop a game that's going to get, they're already in the middle of playing. Why would I stop it? But
Yeah.
I think it was Lofi who sent them me and misinterpreted what I said. Because he said something about, oh, but when I do it or something in the Yotai chat, and I was like, shh, just don't talk about it right now, or whatever I said. But I was like, I honestly wasn't paying attention to what he said. I forgot y'all's game was even that day. It wasn't until, was it Jaden DM'd me? That I put two and two
Perchance.
together. And I was like, oh, that's what he was talking about. And then, that's when it all went downhill, and he said some shit, and I was like, fuck you. Like, respectfully, I don't care right now. It's gonna get handled. In this league, I always handle the shit. But then we kind of apologized. Like, yeah, he's been pretty chill with me, but I try not to make enemies.
Yeah.
It makes life easier, especially when you already know you got to deal with Henrys out there, the playoff time torch masochists. But I didn't know if there was more to that or not. Kind of lame. I thought there was gonna be like a cool fucking enemy story. No, it's
No,
just
not really, because he just like spawned into the scene pretty recently.
well, maybe he listens and then he feels me in on some shit that you didn't know you did. Something cool.
No.
Like you fucked this bitch or something. Something cool. Like
Yeah.
you took that femme girl down doggy style or something. I don't know. Fuck it. But okay. Alright, so let's get into it. So hot take right here. Okay. Wild
Hmm.
Boys. Spartans. Synergy. Who's the best?
I mean, you kind of got a lot of that answered tonight with the Spartans and
Synergy series?
Synergy series.
That
Yeah.
sweep?
Weep. Yeah.
I did
No, I
not
don't know.
I didn't see Khan going 7-1.
Was that map two?
It went to map 3, but Synergy swept Spartans on Khan.
So who ended up? It was Synergy ended up winning the whole series then.
Yep, 2-1.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Spartans has a lot of the same problems that like 5.2 has when the games matter the most. Like I wouldn't call it choking. I think it's more of like a mentality kind of issue. But I feel like I wouldn't say they're a newer team because they've played with each other before. But like
Yeah, it's older than me if I'm
consistently
wrong.
new,
Yeah.
consistently running. They've only been on the team for a season or so. Not even a season. But I don't know. I feel like that's one thing that they need to work on because I don't think Synergy's a better team. I do think that
Synergy some playoff demons.
Spartan's a better team.
Synergy,
Yeah.
boy, they'll lose a game regular season, but come playoffs, you
Yeah.
better when they mess up, you better catch them on it. Because, I mean, they're like Henry, like pizza with pineapple. That little fucker's a playoff demon in a free league. Nebula learned the hard way. Don't count that fucker out. Don't overestimate Henry.
Yeah.
Why Nebula took PWP to Skyscraper? It's the one map that they're actually known to be good at. Who knows? Okay, well, let's do a hot take. What are your thoughts on? So those three are solidified D1. I don't think anybody's going to argue Wild Boys, Spartans, and Synergy are not D1. 5.2 has recently went through a lot. What happened to
Yeah.
the squad from last season's? Zemphy,
Previous
Phoenix.
seasons.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a falling out. It started with Zimphy and Viz not being butt buddies anymore. They had like a beef going on that kind of
Zabara.
split the team up.
Yeah, I do miss Extinction. That was my boy.
Yeah, but that's mainly what it is. It was just split of personalities, and then Viz wanted to prioritize streaming more.
I mean, hey, if he's making it, he's making it, I guess.
Yeah.
Trying to make it. I don't know. I don't know their business. But so then you went through a little weird era where your roster was really shaky. But now is it safe to
Mm-hmm.
call you 5.cc?
Feels like it, doesn't it?
I mean, you pretty much got half a CC starters, if not more.
Yeah.
You got Abolish, Crypto, Sticky. I can't remember. I think there's one more, ain't there? Or is that it?
No, that's it.
Okay.
No, yeah. A lot of changes went down or whatever. But I don't know, because that was like the main issue with old 5.2 is we were around together for a long time, but we weren't actively playing together. Whereas this new roster, everyone's playing together. There's no odd man out. So we're consistently playing together and ranked and stuff like that or whatever. And with the CC guys, we've been playing ranked with them on and off for a few since this new 5.2 came up since the old team split. And Omar was the first to come, and then Abolishing had his games, and then when they finally ended up calling it quits, I was hearing good things about Quickie. He's wanting to play the game again, so we started playing ranked with him, and it turned out really good. So I was like, yeah, we need to go ahead and jump on this opportunity before anyone else does.
Okay,
Yeah.
I still say y'all are at the bottom end right now. You're working on getting the chemistry up. This roster is better than whatever that bullshit was in between the Zenfi and them. That was not the route. Y'all, I don't think I've ever seen y'all lose or look as bad as y'all did during that little month and a
Which
half
is
era.
weird though, because like we were losing to teams we shouldn't have, but then we were like beating synergies and stuff like that. It's weird. I don't know.
How you managed to lose the R18 still is beyond me. Even though you were gonna default lose the game anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's enough for that. We'll tune into y'all. I'll still rate you a little lower right now. All right, but there's a hot take that I know somebody who's gonna listen to is gonna feel a type of way. But let's see what you think about the next two: Redemption and Nebula. All right, so Nebula, do you think they're overrated or not?
No, you can't overrate them. Did you say underrated or overrated?
Overrated. Well, I guess we could say
Overrated.
underrated would be a better question or better.
Underrated, yes. Overrated, no, because I don't think they're appreciated for what they've been doing recently. They've been taking out really good teams in regular season, stuff like that. And I don't know exactly what it is because when you look at their roster, no like particular names stand out to you. Like, there's no like notable players. I'd say like you know the names, but you don't know them. Like say an Andy's Term or like a Charlie or a Zoli, something like that, where it's got like the name carries weight. Like they're kind of, I wouldn't even call them fresh players,
They're kind of
but
quieter players.
yeah, but they're doing something right over there. I feel like it's a coordination play style type of thing that's carried them as far as it has.
So I'm kind of an owner rep over there. I guess I kind of
Yeah,
do map bands now. They didn't, a couple of them, mainly Trail, didn't agree with me at first. And we got into it over some dumbass fucking map band shit. I don't even want to front on that shit. That's bullshit. You ask me. So I just started rage baiting, but not the right move. Whatever. But anyways, I was like, I think they're, I, I wouldn't say fully underrated. People know who they are now. But I will say it's like, I think people still don't respect that the players they've had and lost and still remain kind of consistent is pretty good. Like, I mean, and they're losing Vixel, and they're still proving without him they can still hang when everybody thought that was their frag or whatever. People are like, oh, he's leaving. That's scary. It's like, well, they picked him up. They
yeah,
got tripping now since Void's gonna go. Whoop whoop. And I was like, from start to finish, the people they've lost and still managed to pick up and stuff like that, it's like they're still consistently hanging where they belong.
yeah,
So I was like, you can't knock them for that. No, they might not they beat Wild Boys and then they lose to them. I think some of it is just ego and mental chalking. They
yeah,
do mentally chalk fast. But Wild Boys, Trail took a tournament warrior team to Clubhouse. Terrible decision.
yeah,
And that's why I said that's where I kind of the map band thing kind of happened because I was like, not knocking, but there's like taking PWP to Skyscraper. It's like, why are you taking these teams to their best maps? I mean, here's some issue here. And their other fault is, I ain't going to tell you what map, but they only play like 2 maps. They prefer to play only like these certain 2 maps. And if you
yeah,
play them, you know what they are. And I was telling, I think it was Vector and Chip about it. I was like, y'all got to get more than like 2 to 3 maps out. Because when people start realizing that, it is what it is. I was like, we got to get some weird maps in there, something that you're solidified good at. Because one of your maps, you're still taking close games there and shit like that. I was like, so I'm trying to help them with that, like in the map variety. On these lower
yeah,
D3 teams you're facing, let's play a weaker map. Let's play a bank. Let's play a lair. Let's play a cafe. Let's play something to build the chemistry with the team where we're not playing 50 rounds or 50 games on 2 maps.
yeah,
Because then you say you gridlock yourself, especially when you're going up, especially like when you're a new D1 team, actually any D1 team, and you're going up against Spartans, Wild Boys, or Synergy, you're guaranteed you're gonna lose a map.
yeah,
I mean, so you got to place yourself in a situation to lose a map. But you just got to be able to pick yourself back up, which they did on, I think, Night Haven on 907. They were down
uh-huh,
6-1 and took it 8-6. They won 6 in a row. I was like, crazy work, resilience out the ass, which was shocking because normally they're a very chalking team. But not to glaze them too much. What about Redemption? I say Redemption is kind of like, they're kind of like Zave. They have, that I've noticed, they haven't changed the roster much, and they're
yeah,
consistently good.
yeah. I'm a big fan of the team. It kind of reminds me of old 5.2, like before the Zymphy and Viz era, where they have a very, very consistent roster as far as like who plays the game and like playing together a lot. That to me screams that a team is like being ran well. I guess would be like the easiest way to go about calling that. But the way that they play the game, I'm a fan of, where it's not cookie cutter strats. They have like a dedicated IGL, which is always cool with me. They have role players like Vipex or whatever on being like a shield crutch, and then like Dev K, he's a flex, but he's like their meanest player. in my opinion. I really like what they're doing over there
Sprays
because
is
again
pretty good too.
they make games close. They win a lot of games, so I really like what they're doing over there.
I take
And I
Redemption.
don't even really like the players that much.
Redemption's there's some bank demons.
Yeah,
I don't know. You don't see a lot of the teams that like bank. There's some fucking bank demons.
yeah, but again, like what you were saying with Nebula and Unwanted and like teams like that, it really sucks having a very shallow map pool because you don't think about it often with like console. But there's like some teams like you were just saying, like PWP on Sky, or you get like default rank tourney warrior maps like Club, and you don't want to bring these good teams to those maps or like what they're known on, but you're limiting yourself by having a shallow map pool. And like with Redemption, I don't think they have a shallow map pool.
Nah, they're pretty solid almost. But that's why I said like Nebula.
Yeah, exactly.
One of their maps is Night Haven Labs. It's like at this point, a lot of teams are decent at Night Haven Labs.
Yeah.
I was like, you might have won a lot, but it's also you got to think a lot of these D1 teams are winning a lot there too. It's like Labs was one of the best maps the game's brought out, in my opinion, in a while. A lot of people
Oh,
liked it and
100%.
played it. Layer, I think, just gets hate because of the verticality plays on it. Like, I don't think Layer's that bad. I
No,
enjoy
I really
Layer.
like Lair.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people, it's got a lot of different ways to push it, and that scares people.
Yeah.
Night Haven's kind of like that old, like that 1.0 kind of vibe. You got about two to three choke points and an objective. You only really got a couple ways of verticality. Whereas Labs, man, you can push 4 different ways, multiple walls you can open in certain sites. I think basement, almost the entire floor is breakable.
Yeah.
First floor, almost the entire floor is breakable. I was like, so there's a lot to do in Lair, and I think it's just overwhelming to people,
Yeah,
especially on
which
run and gun teams.
yeah, what that's kind of what I was going to lean into. Playing maps like that and just newer maps in general, it rewards teams that put in the time and the effort to actually learning the map and the intricacies of a map. And that goes for any map really. If you take the time to look into it, like perfecting your attack pushes, like pocket strats, like stuff like that, it rewards really good teams. And I know that sounds like, oh yeah, no shit, but Lair in specifically is one of those maps where it rewards teams that put the effort into learning it. Because you can be a very mid-leveling team, but still do good and well against your way better teams. That's why you never see it played in ranked that often. And that goes for other maps too. Like you'll rarely see skyscraper or bank and layer maps like that that aren't your default run-of-the-mill cookie cutter maps.
Mm-hmm.
Now you gotta have some preparation going into those 3 maps in particular.
But so not to go back on Pitt, but that's why I respect Pitt. Is like where they did take them to a couple cookie cutter maps. Did they? What was that? What was map 1?
I remember labs.
Okay, map 1 was Labs, map 2 was Con.
Yeah,
But so you you can kind of say Labs is kind of cookie cutter. It's just newer.
it's becoming more cookie cutter,
Yeah,
but you still have variation
yeah.
in
But
attacks and defenses, whereas club you don't really have variation.
no, well that's because it's been like Border is kind of one that Nebula on Border, dude, is embarrassing. It's
Hmm.
fucking bad. We don't even know like mainstream callouts. It's bad. Anyway, but like I said, like what like Pitt made me proud is like you don't see a lot of teams do it because a lot of teams want to ego challenge the ego challenge. Well, I don't know. Did you watch any of that series?
I didn't really get to.
Okay, so
I
Pitt,
just heard from word
yeah,
of mouth that some games were very close.
Pitt was baiting Obey's aggression. Like they would kind of swing out a little bit, but then hold a tight angle. And it's like because
Hmm.
everybody always say they're gonna swing you, they're gonna ego challenge. Like
Yeah.
Wild Boys is gonna do it, Spartans is gonna do it. I say a lot of D1 teams are gonna ego challenge, especially the fraggers.
Hmm.
They're gonna ego swing you. And then Pitt did a great job of just sitting back, holding that angle. And I mean, it's still like there were still some gun instances and IQs where they can still develop to make it. But it's like if they keep that mindset up, I think they'd be deadly in another season or two.
Yeah, for sure.
As I say, you should go back if there is a VOD. Like they're one of the teams that did it the best. I mean, there were some angles they were holding, like where they kind of step back and then there was a couple times they ego challenged themselves, and it's like that's how you also get a real aggressive team is you beat them to it. You
You catch
pow.
them off guard.
Yep, it's like oh shit, they swung me.
Yeah.
Like, but hey, I was like they figured that part out, and hopefully they keep that going and growing.
Yeah. Which I feel like this is what I was wanting to comment on earlier. I didn't really get a good way of entering this little conversation, but I feel lately a lot of the teams are not, or a lot of the good teams rather, I say aren't playing each other in the regular season as much. In playoffs, I mean they have to, but regular season, I'm not seeing really like many high level games to where you're getting those consistent reps in on teams that actually defend correct attacking pushes, stuff like that. I don't really know if you follow what I'm saying,
Yeah,
but
I get what you're saying. But that's
I feel like that's like one of the things they've been blessed with. They've been underestimated since they're a new team, and they haven't had the weight of expectation on them. So they're getting really good reps in from really good teams, and they're perfecting their attack pushes, their communication, their coordination on the really bad teams. So they're like riding down the middle of playing good and bad teams, whereas lately a lot of the good teams aren't playing other good teams.
that's also the catch-22 of the skill gap we got between D1 and D2 right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where it's like in Black Hole, like I don't know if anybody's noticed, I try to make it where you have half the divisions are good teams, the other half are kind of mid and like D2, D3. Half this
Yeah.
division's good team. And it's like I try, but even then, you get to like your next division, you're like, damn, there's really not any like it's like
Like, what do you do here?
yeah, it's like putting Wild Boys in a fucking uh in a in a division with R18. It's like, if R18's not gonna learn from this, they're just gonna go straight down their fucking throat with a blitz and Andy's turn with Ash.
Yeah.
I was just trying to say it's just, but it's like I like it because you get to know what it looks like, and to me, I think a D2 and D3 team should still should still win 1 or 2 rounds. It's like you
Mm-hmm.
should see the aggression and be able to in your head hunker down and just be like, okay, they're gonna swing. Like I'm not saying crazy, like Yotai put up 5 on Nebula. I was like, anything can happen. You just can't get that mental chalk. But that's where it's like I kind of like the division tiering a little bit. If we had enough of each division to really make it work, and we got that weird section where you might have a league that does mix them a little bit, but it keeps those D1 teams fresh playing each other. Because it's not fair right now. It's a bunch of lower teams just getting smacked, or the ones like Pit Wraith actually using the positive from it and getting better.
Yeah.
But then it does nothing to D1 teams because they'll sit here and like you said 5.2 is doing. You're sitting here beating fucking aggressive teams, but you can't even beat a fucking strategizing D3 team.
See, I don't know if I agree with that because from my personal experience, just the way that leagues have been going lately, we aren't getting a lot of the easier teams lately. We've been getting a lot of the good teams. We just got last week, for example, we got Redemption twice in a week and a bye round in one of our other leagues. So all week, basically, we had Redemption on our schedule.
Hey,
And
good for
then,
you,
like, week
BH.
before that, we get, like, CC and, like, games like that. We're not really getting many bad teams. Like, I haven't got to play a pit team yet, and I'm not saying they're a bad team, but that's just a face I haven't seen, even since
I
starting
gave you
out.
R18
So I'm
and you
not.
lost.
Yeah, but I mean, there's like stuff going into that game, like unforeseen circumstances we
Well,
just couldn't
yeah.
avoid.
Oh yeah, they
Like
were.
players couldn't play, stuff like that. That would have been a learning game, but we didn't get to as people just didn't show up.
But yeah,
Schedules didn't work out how they were meant to.
well that's where it's like I do agree with like not strictly D1ing a league to a full
Yeah,
extent because you do get that because you're only going to be able to adapt so much because these older teams are not they're doing the same fucking thing.
yep,
And then it's like you got teams like Zave who do bring like, oh shit, they actually are using their brain because they lack a little in gun skill. And
yeah,
teams like Pitt, and so it's like it is nice to have that little balance, I will say, and that's why it's like I was gonna do like all 10 D1s and like 2 to 4 D2s, and just do like 2 divisions and mix them in there. Cause I try to balance out the teams. Like you get Spartans and Wild Boys, okay, and then Synergy. It's like okay, 2 of them are gonna have to go in one division and one's gonna have to go in the other. Just kind of balance it out where you don't just have one in one and one in the other. Where it's like, well, they're
hmm
clearly going to the playoffs, but have one of them possibly elimination, and then
yeah,
shit like that. That's where it gets kind of weird because then like with Void, with their scheduling and stuff, you never know which Void you're gonna get. You're gonna get fucking
yeah,
D1 peak level Void, or you're gonna get D2 about to retire Void.
yeah. I don't know. It's a weird conundrum you have to face.
Yeah, and it's like okay, forever Squares team. 2 seasons ago, that dude was borderline D1 with the Senate. I mean, he was knocking out D1 teams. They swapped to Forever, had a little fallout. That poor team ain't stood a chance since.
hmm
The fall of that's got to be studied. But I was like, you got shit like that that goes into play. Like it's there's so many roster changes and shit. Like one roster change I've seen wreck a whole team. And it's just
Yeah,
like it's shit you can't avoid because somebody gets mad at somebody else. They just don't talk it out no more. Like boo hoo. Like
quick to
dude,
pull the trigger.
yeah, I'm just leaving, or I don't get enough playtime, or we're not doing it. Like a lot of people I've noticed they don't talk it. Like they just they pin it up and just like I'm done. And it's like I get it. They're younger community, but
Yeah,
who at the end of the day, it's just what it is. Oh, I know what I meant to ask you. Most overrated team.
overrated.
Yeah, overrated.
Uh, list me off some names that you had in your mind, because I
Ooh,
can't really think of an overrated
I'll
team.
just I'll just list you some teams, and then when you think you hear one, you stop me in your tracks. All right,
Okay.
we'll go through D1 first. We'll go Spartans, Obey, Synergy, 907, Void, Redemption, 5.2, overrated, Nebula, Pit Wrath, Section 8. With Section 8, don't even say it. It's really not fair to call them overrated. Like I don't think it was like I get where Square was coming from. Like their roster is a little hard to say not D1, but they've also never played a game.
Yeah, I mean they haven't even gotten into league yet, so
Yeah, so I was
it's
like,
hard.
yeah, you can't. That one's iffy. You can say, do they belong there? I don't know. Okay, D2, we got 404. Envy, who I have not seen play a game yet. They forfeited like 5 straight. Velocity, Nemesis, Eva, Tsukiyomi, Zave. He didn't take Pit out of that, but they're there too.
I mean, I wouldn't say there's really any overrated teams.
Oh, there's got to be one out here. D3, we got Alpha Sigmas. Man, they actually, man, I thought at one point they were pretty good. I don't know what happened to them.
If I had to say, if I like had to pick, I would say Redemption would be the most overrated because I don't think that's a world beater team per se.
You don't think what?
Have like a beater of worlds team.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
We got Akatsuki, Santos, Voltage, Forever, TSG, R18, Mirage, DME, Pit Alive, Pit Generation, Crimson Surge, Aquatic Revolution, and Beyond. I ain't gonna go into D4. We already know Yotai the
yeah.
GOAT.
Um, I'd say Redemption for sure, or not for sure. FVR for sure, and it's hard to like overrate any D1 teams because you kind of know what to expect with them.
Well,
But if I had to pick one,
I would
I'd say
say
Redemption.
if Fever was D2, I would say they're overrated. But the fact he actually put them to D3, it's like I'll give you that. At least you understand that you're struggling right now.
You're talking about Squared?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he's
I
the one
mean,
doing
I'm
it.
only saying that because I feel like the name carries more, like the FVR name carries more weight than the actual performance they have lately. I don't know
Mm,
if you get what I'm
I,
saying with
I
by
get what.
that.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, Envy has yet to play a game. How are they still in D2?
Yeah, I don't know.
So to
You're
me, I'm weird because it's gonna be a hot take. Like, if I were to pick D1, I just, like I said, I won't pick Pitt because they just got there. We don't really know yet. Section 8 ain't played a game. Like, as of right this second, it would have to go to 5.2 or Redemption. But 5.2, they're new to playing together. So, is it really overrated or is it they're just developing
no,
themselves?
I agree.
And then Redemption, to me, like, they're a great team, but they're real quiet. Like, there's not a whole lot of excitingness of it. They're consistent, but I don't know. Like, I just feel like I weirdly hear about them the least. Like, do they belong in D1? 100%. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like their games just, maybe I'm just not watching the right ones, or I haven't seen them. It's just they're not exciting.
Hmm.
Like, man, I've seen 907 pull some shit. But I guess Redemption's not, they're a little bit slower sometimes. They're methodical.
Yeah.
Not saying
Um.
that's a bad thing, but I will say if it's overall picking, first of all, if Envy's really in D2, that's overrated. They're forfeiting all their games because a 10-man roster, they're missing 3 people. You can't make 5, or you refuse to play
Hmm.
with 5. And then
No,
it
that
either
makes
like
sense.
Eva, I think is borderline, man. They now went to Wild Boys, so it's not a diss at them leaving. Cause I already told them like I'm cool. You got a better offer, take it, whatever. But I was like, I love those are my boys. That's Allen's team or Vate. That's my boys
Yeah.
right there. But I was like, man, they're either doing great or they're losing. Doing great or they're losing. Like, granted, last season in Black Hole they had a tough division. They had Synergy, Nebula, NCC in one division out of 5 teams. I was like, so it was a tough one right there. I did feel a little bad. So I tried to ease it up on them this season, and it's still just like they are not a bad team though. But right
Hmm.
now, I just feel like I haven't seen a whole lot from them. But
Yeah,
I was
it's
out of the
like
loop for a while.
no, I. Okay, so I just thought of something else. It's what have you done for me lately versus what have you done for me. I definitely agree with the 5.2 being overrated thing,
Hmm.
and that's not just to like get cookie points from you or whatever. Because yeah, lately on the 5.2 side of the table, we haven't been doing much lately. We've been like working out new systems, new players, stuff like that. So we haven't been putting up performances that's like expected of the name, which is why I kind of said FVR. I guess if I had to say one is overrated, I feel like the name carries more value than the team actually does. Which you could say the exact same thing for 5.2. Which
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know, but it's like it's just hard to like say any team is overrated because you don't know what to expect right now out of teams really. Besides like your D1 teams.
Yeah, I say, hey, man, it is. So you can't find an overrated team. I'm gonna get you in that hot seat. You gotta ask you the hard questions one day. All right, but see, I'm still trying to figure out a full direction we want to go. But I do want to keep touching on the council shit eventually. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I just
but
can't really speak on too much of it because I'm not really a part. of the council. I'm just in the server, kind of just as a
Yeah.
spectator.
Well, I can update you, and you can just give your opinions. Because I don't know what all
Yeah,
chats you can see, but anyways,
yeah, I'm not
yeah.
exactly sure.
I mean, we'll wrap it up there for the first episode, and then we'll get more in depth and risky later on.
Well, I wanted to ask you,
Oh,
week
oh, oh,
4 of Black Hole League.
oh. Go ahead, ask.
What do you think we're looking to going into playoffs? What are you expecting
Oh,
before week 7
oh. So
and
okay, so who do in my league in Black Hole League?
well,
Who
let's
do?
just go for it because I feel like we gotta spread our legs
Oh,
and
we do gotta treat
get.
ourselves. So
Oh,
rub
whoa,
that little
whoa.
tushy a little bit. Let me stop. We gonna get demonetized
No,
in
I
episode
mean,
1. So who do
I
I
mean,
think
it's
gonna go
your
playoffs?
podcast, your league. What do you think of you've seen so far? Because we're going into week 5, correct?
Mhm. Okay. So
Smash Chats came out earlier this week,
yeah,
so we
today actually.
week 6 we got wild card week
Okay.
out of division games.
Yeah, I already made those. I don't know if you saw them or not.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's exactly what I was talking
Yeah.
about. What do
So
you
so let me
think? Is
explain.
those out of division games are going to affect the standings like a
Yeah.
lot
So
actually.
so let me. So when I do the out of division games, a lot. I don't know. You might have picked up on it. Some people probably don't. But I do take into effect like the teams overall, how good they are, and like I try to
Mhm.
match evenly teams up. Which sometimes
Yeah.
with D1 it gets a little split in the middle. But I was like, I try to have the D1 face the D1, the D2 face the D2, because I was like, I want it where those last two spots, the playoff eligibility, you're fighting for it. Like you're gonna want
Yeah.
it. You want $1,000? Earn this shit, motherfucker. And that's where
Yeah.
it's like I put 5.2 versus Wild Boys, Void versus Redemptions, two slow teams, but pretty good when they execute. Eva, Pit Wraith, that one I was kind of grasping at straws. To how to get everybody out of a division to play, I kind of had to mix a little teams together. R18 versus Forever, we're gonna see where Forever really stands. Voltage versus Suki, I feel is fair.
Mhm.
Reborn and Envy's gonna be a forfeit. Nebula and Synergy, that'll really give Nebula a chance to shine. You know, they've beaten Redemption, they've beaten Void, they've beaten Wild Boys. There's only two teams they haven't beaten that I know of, and that's Synergy and Spartans. Here's their chance. Aquatic and Velocity. See, Aquatic's one of those teams, like they're kind of hit or miss. We're gonna see. 404 TSG. Will the Unks beat the Unks? I guess is a nice way to put it. Then we got, yeah, I think that's all. But yeah, so after week 4, here's what I think. I think Wild Boys. Oh, I forgot to update that. I think Wild Boys is definitely making playoffs. Okay. Unless there's a forfeit happening here, I think Cosmo Division is going to be pretty select. So, and if well, it's going to come down between Pit and Voltage. They're both at 4 points apiece right now, but Pit has the round advantage on Voltage. So I think Synergy, Wild Boys, and Velocity are clear, unless they lose out. Who's Velocity play this week? Velocity plays Voltage actually, so that could be a huge game right there. Who does Pit play? I made the schedule. I should fucking know. Oh, Pitt plays Wild Boys. Oh, so we might be looking at Voltage and ooh, okay, okay, Austin Cook. Anyways,
That's what I'm saying. These are exciting times for Black
Volt,
Hole in
yeah,
particular.
yeah, Voltage and Wrath might be fighting till week 6, because I'm pretty sure they're both gonna be projected to lose their games this week. So week 6 is really gonna be the telltale, and I feel like they got an
Yeah.
equal chance. Oh, but TSG. Hold on, who does TSG play? TSG. Oh, Synergy. Okay, chalk them. They're at 2 points. I said if they win this week, that puts them at 6. And if Pitt and well, if they somehow do win, that puts them above Pitt and Voltage. Anything's possible. They did beat Pit Wraith. Their one victory is Pit Wraith. What hurt them was their forfeit. But so I do think Cosmo is going to be Velocity, Wild Boys, Synergy, and I had to say I think Pitt's going to make the cut. Eclipse Redemption is sweeping the division right now. But here's where it's going to get interesting. It's Forever and 404. So 404 had a little rage moment. They're mad they lost to Forever. They're Forever's first win in Black Hole in like a season and a half. They got kind of mad. And then they wanted to disband, and then they couldn't get the schedule with Aquatic, so he just took the forfeit. Well, that forfeit put them below Forever. So Forever has the cutoff spot right now. And 404 has 3 points, Forever has 4 points. I'm pretty sure Redemption, Aquatic, and Nebula are going to make it 100%. I don't see them losing. So, Nebula versus Aquatic. That's not going to weigh too much because they're at 11 and 12 points. The next is 4.
Yeah.
Forever is getting a free win on Envy, unfortunately. So that's going to solidify them at 8. And then Redemption's going to be facing 404. So this is a big test for 404. A loss isn't going to hurt them too much. Actually, it
But
would.
a win would be really good.
Yeah, because Forever could end up forfeiting one of these. Like, it's still going to be close. Really, Envy fucked me up because they were supposed to be playing. I hate when teams do that. It's like Pit Reborn. They've rebranded 3 times and just still forfeit, and they just get mad and leave. But I do think Eclipse is going to pull out being Redemption, Aquatic, Nebula, Forever. Interstellar, we got Void's pretty much sweeping the division. We got 5.2.
Which is really interesting. I commented on that earlier in the match chat with Void because that's who we play next week. It's because with the issues that they've been having, just like getting players, and
Now,
if you're in the Void verse, you've heard word that they're probably not going to be sticking around much longer, but they're still putting up
they're still doing
I
good
mean,
when they need
they're
to.
still doing good, yeah.
And I think some of the leagues matter too, because I've noticed some teams just do shit in some leagues, but they'll just show out in another
No,
league.
100%.
But so the funny part is, unless y'all 7-0 with them or 7-1 them, y'all are still under them.
Yep.
Y'all have to get the 6 to make it 11 points, and since y'all beat them, I'd put y'all ahead. But other than that, you're still gonna be below them. The battle for this league or this division is crazy. You got R18 at 8 points, Tsukiyomi at 8 points, and Eva at 4 points. So this week over here, well, actually, Eva had Reborn, so Eva's going up to 8 points. So technically, all 3 right now are at 8 points. So this is huge because Suki and R18 are facing each other this week. So one of them is about to be tied. So if R18 wins, Eva's going to knock out Suki off of round diff because they're at -5 and Eva's at -6. But if Suki wins, R18 has a chance to still be above Eva. And that's for that week 6 match. Excuse me, who they play in week 6? Eva plays Pit, which is going to be tough. Suki plays Voltage, and R18 plays Forever. So I think it's going to come down to week 6 for definitely the blue division.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I wanted to comment on the Black Hole League in particular, because there's a lot of games, a lot of positioning and stakes riding on these last 2 weeks in particular. It's one of the, correct me if I'm wrong, this season, but especially these last couple of weeks, might be some of the most competitive games going into playoffs.
Or possibly. People don't get me crazy. I be cooking with schedules. I actually hand do that shit, but it always irritates me because there's always that team that at some point just gives up and disbands. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, man, because I've had some like last season. Them week 6 matchups were fucking killer.
And someone had to fuck it up.
Oh, they were still killer, but it's the fact that the regular season, you know, oh, I don't want to play today. We're gonna forfeit. Oh, I don't want. That's why I did the -2 now. Because last season had a
Yeah,
lot of that, man. If you don't punish them for the forfeits, man, they'll just do it just because.
yeah.
So okay, who do you think's gonna win it all? Who do you think the finals is gonna be to come down between?
It's hard to say really. Because today we found out that maybe Spartans isn't as
Spartans ain't in it.
unbeatable as we thought they were.
They're not in
And
the black
with
hole, sir.
oh, they're not.
Yeah, I forgot to invite them.
Uh, well, so it didn't even really matter in particular for Black Hole, but like in general, we learned that maybe Spartans isn't as unbeatable as we thought they were, and then they have I wouldn't say growing issues. That's the wrong word. Like mental issues when it comes to taking losses,
Mm-hmm. Which
bouncing back
they
from
got.
losses even.
But
Um,
but who's
we
gonna
found
win?
out today that Synergy looks really good with the roster that they played with the Jugo Silva guy.
Oh yeah, he actually did pretty good.
Because I mean, hot take, that's some of the best Synergies looked maybe
Oh,
ever.
they look dominating, dude. When I
They
thought
look
they were
really
out,
good.
they still came back and clutched it. That cafe game was back and forth. That was a
Hmm.
good fucking game.
Yeah, but even just in general, though, like I feel like we're learning about a lot of the top teams and how a lot of these other games might end up playing out. Maybe we found out Spartans isn't as dominant as we thought. Maybe uh, we're not crediting Synergy as much, and stuff like that.
All right, but who do you think is gonna be in the finals of Black Hole?
Uh, finals,
I think this
finals.
playoff's gonna cook.
I feel like I'd have to see how the brackets work out, but um,
Yeah, I'm gonna do it the same way I did it last season. Um,
yeah.
oh, except it's gonna have to be 4 buys. So 12 teams are making it. Top 4 seeds will get a bye. But I'm going to do the seeds all together, not division. So like
Mhm.
say Velocity or you know what right now say Void has 16 points. It'll be Void, Redemption, Velocity. I'm not gonna do no division bracket by. They're gonna be seeded off just their actual points in order.
Yeah. Um, I mean, to be honest, I'm really confident in the new 5.2 roster with the addition of the new CC guys, stuff like that. So I'd like to say us and like an Obey,
I would
because I
love
feel like
to
Obey is the strongest during playoffs.
I would love to see Void take one before they go though.
I would love to as well, but it's
Trip
just, can you
Triple
really
Surge
trust a
one.
team that knows this is their last run?
If they want it bad enough, you could.
I know.
But see where y'all are gonna be fighting now. What's gonna be interesting is the top seeds. Like the
Yeah.
4 teams on a bye. I just started looking at that now. That's going to be crazy because you got a 12, 12, 10, 15, 12, 11, 16, 12. Oh my God. I hope none of y'all don't have the same round diff. But
Mhm.
so I was thinking I think Synergy is they have their choking moments.
Yeah.
If Synergy makes it to the finals, they're winning.
Okay.
But I think Heisey wants to win back to back. Let's see if he can do what the stretcher did, back to back. I think it's gonna be. I think Wild Boys, and not just because I'm on the team, but Nebula.
Mhm.
Not just because,
Okay.
not just because I'm associated, but I think it's coming up on their time.
You think they're due for a W?
I do. It's gonna be a tough fight, but I think it like you said, they're the underdogs. I was like, at some points, you've been the underdogs long enough. You got to just want it.
Yeah.
Like I think this is gonna be the look. Let's sit down and let's punch this one home. I mean, last season they did great until postseason. As I said, I think this is their time. Like Redemption solidified themselves. They've got league wins. Synergy's got league wins. I think Nebula, aside from the new two teams, I think Nebula is the only D1 team without a league win.
Yeah. But then again, though, that's like what I was saying earlier. They're a newer team. They're not. They haven't gone through the fire and the trials to get that league win yet. So maybe they're due for one. But
They went through some fires, man. They've had heartbreaking playoff losses. They got up there. They lost to Wild Boys. The map choices, I think, fucked them up more than anything on that. Got up there, heartbreaking loss to 907. Got up there, lost to PWP. I was like, at some point, man, we got to start. You got to turn these into some wins. It's time. Because I mean, you got to then you got to ask yourself, at what point do we start losing morale? I say they at least make it to semis. I think they'll make it to finals. But I mean, at what point? That's where you got to ask. When do we just start losing morale? Like fuck.
yeah. But I feel like that's you're going off a theoretical ceiling, but you can't really like once bracket comes out.
Oh, that's all this is
That's like
theoretics. Yeah.
yeah. I feel like that's a lot harder to do than when the actual bracket comes out.
Well, that's why it's just for fun.
Because they could be blessed by getting based off their positioning, whether that be good or bad. Maybe they get a middling position that they don't have to go against an Obey or at a number 1 seed, or maybe if like Void is number 1 seed, and maybe they pull Void first. That's a very winnable game for them. It just kind of depends on how seedings works and how the schedule ends up looking.
We definitely gotta have to revisit after week 6 because there's gonna be a lot of changes. Come the seeding order, who made it. It would be a lot closer if Reborn and Envy weren't forfeiting every fucking game.
Yeah.
But alright, we'll call it a wrap there for the first episode, a little Yap Fest. Until next time, thank you for tuning into No One's Listening. Yeah, we're sticking with that name. That's your time to say bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Toodles.
We'll see you next week.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Toodles.
Toodles.